So I can sum up your spread in one word, and that is basically to have the confidence to go for what it is that you love. The underlying and the advice says that, but let's go through it, and because obviously it's going to apply differently for all of you. When I say love, especially when we see the lovers, please don't just put that down as romance. For some of you, it will be. For a lot of you, it will be about a relationship, a romantic relationship. But we are love. Everything that we do is from love, whether that's work, whether that's our families, whatever it is. And you have this kind of, I feel like it's more acting on your heart, which is not something that you've done or been able to do in the past with the High Priestess coming up. But I'm all over the place. Let's do it one step at a time. Magician coming up as your underlying energy. What does the Magician say? He has the knowledge. He has all the tools. But does he have the confidence to use what he knows and what he has to get what he wants? That's why he's seen as a manifester. You know, he's a master manifester because he can. He acts on... he uses what he has. He uses the tools available to him. But he's key. He's the crucial aspect here. Even the owl here, there's a little owl. I don't know if you can see him. There's a little owl up here. That's knowledge. You know. Taurus, I want to tell you this. Some of you are doubting what you know. When you have these two cards coming up, you know. Now, something I want to say here. So come closer, Taurus. Let's have a little chat. Yes, it's a general reading, so the energies can go both ways. But whenever I see the High Priestess and the Magician together in a spread, this is not just passive, because this High Priestess is passive. She can be secretive. This can be manipulation, because he manipulates matter. He manipulates whatever, you know, the alchemist manipulating energies to turn base metals into gold. It's that kind of manipulation. So don't just think it's lies and secrets and all that kind of stuff. But you may be putting on a different front or a different face from what is truly going on inside of you. And like I said, that doesn't have to be nefarious. It can be something as basic as, you know, if going back to the lovers, you have feelings for someone or you like someone, but you're not saying it. In fact, you're not just not saying it, you're kind of portraying it in a way that they can't see it. For others of you, it might be to do with work, right? You've just been putting up with it. You kind of know it. You know the job. You know what had to do whatever. But you just know you're going to end up doing more of the work if you do that. Or your heart is somewhere else, but you owe it to that team. Remember what came up before? You owe it to your team to kind of stay in it. So your cards, no pun intended, are not fully on the table. However, this week is when they may just come out. So we have him, right? This is telling you, do you have the confidence to... It's communication. The Magician is communication. It's the card for Mercury. Mercury is pretty significant this week if you've looked at the astrology as well. But are you going to take that opportunity to say what it is that you want to say, to go for it? The Magician is the channel. He channels the energy where it needs to be. But you haven't been doing that. You haven't been doing that. Not with the High Priestess here. She knows. And you've known this for a while. Whatever it is that you know now, this was a gut feeling. This was your intuition, but you didn't act on it. She's very passive. She sits there knowing, but she doesn't say it. So she's very secretive as well. So this can be that whole kind of smoke and mirrors thing. Hey, look at this. But I know what's going on, but I'm not going to say it just yet. When the sun shows up, and the sun is here at the heart of your reading, everything gets revealed. Everything gets revealed. So if you're keeping secrets, I would say kind of go with it. I don't see it turning out, you know, difficult for you. There's beautiful energy coming in from this. It'd probably be the best thing. But because it's the Magician, I feel like more you're being asked to communicate it, to be able to show it. Because you see the potential in some situation. So if you see the potential for happiness in a situation, why would you not go forward and say, this is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I see. This is what I want to happen here. This is what I want to build here. There is potential. And maybe that's been the thing, that you've kind of known how you felt in a situation, but you've not known if there was potential for whatever you feel to grow, to expand on this, to have more than what you have, right? And there is. When the sun shows up, there is. Especially when the sun is, I said this to Pisces as well. And interesting that Pisces comes up because we have the Queen of Cups there, which is Pisces, water energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But I'm very much getting the sense that this is about you going for it now. Now you're clear on that. There is a path to this. There is a path to what I love. There is a path to get what I want, to build something here. But how does it get done? How do you do that? Why is there potential in the situation? It's because you see the potential in you, Taurus. The answers never come from outside of ourselves. I've said that to a couple of Taurus people recently, actually. I have a lot of Taurian clients. I don't know if it's this whole transit that's been going on with you guys. And so a lot of Taurus people have been coming to me for readings. And guess it's the Aquarius connection, like, explain what's happening. But there is that kind of air energy here. We have, talking about Aquarius, we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. We have Gemini here as well. Mercury there. This is about you standing up for your truth, speaking your truth, going forward with your truth. This is no more hiding how you feel, no more hiding what you know, if it's work for you. And that's about going forward with your truth. And that's the whole thing with the Queen of Swords. She's gone through a lot of crap. The heartbreak queen, the divorce queen, the widow queen. She's seen it all. She's done it all. But it's given her a truth that she's not afraid to express now. But what does she do in return? She asks for the truth back. So I want to say this to you. For some of you, it's not just about you expressing your truth. This is about you going forward and saying, hey, what's going on with you in this situation? It's getting to, it's just finding out more information. She's not afraid to have those conversations. She will face the truth no matter what it is. Not just her own truth, but she's happy to express. Why would she be afraid? She's handled everything else that was thrown at her. Why would she be afraid to say, this is who I am? She's not. But there's something that you know, or some tools that you have, either a skill set at work, either, your good kind of relationship material too is coming in. You know that about yourself. You know that I can make this work. But this might be then about what's the next step that you take? So the first step to take is speaking your truth. Communication is key here. Confidently. That's key here. Confidently communicating what it is that you know, or what you want out of this, what you've known for a while. Where does that lead? Well, it leads to the Queen of Cups, which is you being able to, she comes from a heart space. She's then able to get what she wants, right? So the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess, very similar energy. They're both very intuitive energies. They're both very much about how I feel about this, their intuition. I almost see these two could both be tarot card readers. Or she's very nurturing, she's very loving, she's very caring. She's not, the only difference between her and the High Priestess is the High Priestess knows, but she doesn't act on it. She tells you to trust your gut feeling, to trust your intuition. Whereas the Queen of Cups, she is loving, she is nurturing, she's healing energy. Head and heart, we're getting them on the same page here. But first you go forward with your words, then you express your heart. So I kind of get the sense, I just want to say this is a very specific story here. If this is a romantic reading for you, and it isn't going to be for everyone, but if this is a romantic reading for you, it's almost as if you go forward saying, doing the whole kind of head thing first. What's going on here? What's the situation? This is how I feel. What's your truth in this situation? Then you go forward. Well, the field, not so much there, it's more the dialogue. This might be just talking to someone. Maybe you've been coveting them from afar, right? With the High Priestess here. But it looks like there's opportunities for conversation this week. Would you take them? I hope so, because there's potential for great happiness. Then you move forward and you can talk about how you feel. Then you can offer your cup of love if you have it. Now, if this is work reading, this might be talking to someone who in that department, in finding out more information about the job, that, I'm interested in this, what's going on? Then you can follow your heart. First words, then feelings. That's the way it's coming through. What's the advice here? What is the advice? The advice is the Lovers. What do you love? Now, the Lovers, it's seen as this decision, head or heart decision. I'm not seeing head or heart, because I'm seeing both of them here. And that doesn't matter if you're masculine, feminine, whatever, right? The queens are very specific energy. I always see them as supportive energy, whereas the kings are more taking charge, taking control, advising energy. But we can all do that. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us. But the Lovers, it isn't a true head or heart decision, because the heart already knows what it wants when the Lover shows up. Some of you might be dealing with a Gemini here. But, you know, the heart knows what it wants. The heart knows what it wants. Are you going to let the head talk you out of it? That's what it says. And it's almost as if this week, you know, some of you might be saying, but I don't know. I don't know how the other person feels. I know how I feel, or I know how I feel about this job, but I don't know if there's got any vacancies. I don't know if what's going on with the other person. There's every opportunity to find out this week with the sun here, because the sun's a card of illumination. It shows everything. But the other thing is, I always remind everyone, you are the sun in the solar system of your life. You're the sun. You're the life-giving energy here. Whatever you focus on, it will grow. You will give life to it. This could be new creative projects. This could be starting something new. But you give life to this. You get your heart's desire out of that. But there's this kind of sense of this distance. No, your heart's already picked it. The Lovers is telling you that. Your heart's already picked what it wants. Now it's up to the head to make it happen. I don't even know what more to say about this. It's such a positive energy for you guys. But the key things are going to be here. What you love. And if you have the confidence to go for it. And it's okay if you go forward, like, to get more information or to speak your truth, or, you know, it's very kind of that cerebral kind of energy here. Very much logic. You don't have to have emotions in this. You don't have to go I'm not saying if this is romantic, you don't have to go forward and say, I love you to someone. It's not that. That will come, but it's not about that. But let's not kind of beat around the bush. You are coming at this from a place of love. You love this project. You love this person. You love this job. This is your career. And you've known it for a while with the High Priestess there, but you didn't act on it before. And it's almost like this week, there's no excuses, Taurus. Sorry. I get it, you know, but there's no fear here. That's the thing. She's fearless. She's fearless in who she is. This is not about having confidence in the other person or the situation or the job or the whatever. This is about having confidence in yourself. That's the whole point of the Queen of Swords. What do I say about the Queen of Swords? Damaged people are dangerous. They know they can survive. And she doesn't intend to survive. She intends to thrive. She intends to have her heart's desire here. So it's amazing energy that's coming up in your reading. Confidence, though. Confidence is going to be needed this week. Play it easy, play it cool. And you know what? There are ways, and I don't know what the wily ways are because I'm a bit in your face when I come out with my truth. But, you know, when you have the High Priestess and the Magician, there's a way to do this. There is a way to do this, a way to speak your truth, a way to find out the truth without having to fully offer your cup up. Offer your cup up. There's a way to do that. That's what I was saying. They're kind of manipulative energies, but, you know, manipulation's been seen as such an awful thing. And it's not about that. I'm not trying to manipulate an outcome. It's having the wisdom and the tools to kind of get what you need out of this situation, to understand what you need to understand.